had sex with this girl only once. After everything, I gave her money to buy the post pill. She claimed she took the pill, but she still got pregnant. I wanted us to discuss the issue as adults and see the way forward. But she wasn't in agreement with that, and so she went ahead to inform her family about it. They also found a way to contact my family to inform them about the situation. My dad was so disappointed at me and told me he was going to take a strict action on this. Sisters, can you imagine they are arranging for us to get married? They are forcing marriage on me, forgetting about my feelings and preferences. This girl in question isn't my girlfriend. We weren't even dating. She was in the same room with my girlfriend. I was visiting them in their room and spent time with my girlfriend. The other day I went visiting and my girlfriend wasn't around. One thing led to another and we had sex. It was just that one time it happened. How is she pregnant? This has really drained me. I'm frustrated to the core. My parents and family are planning our marriage with her family. Is my family not supposed to support me through this? Only God can understand how frustrated I am right now. I can try and take care of the baby, but marriage is another level. My family is not helping me in any way. My dad is extremely disappointed in me. I sent this letter because I want to clear my head. The situation is eating me up. I don't want to marry this girl because I don't love her. It's only my girlfriend I'm in love with. Sisters, I need help. Please don't judge me. All right, Rosie. Thoughts?
So when you were talking, the first line that jumped to me was the fact that he said, how did this happen? It happens. You don't need to have sex multiple times to get a woman pregnant. Once the woman is ovulating and the egg is released, and that takes only a few seconds for that to happen. So when the story was being read from the beginning, the post pill and everything, well, I took 2 post pills and Dante still came out anyways. So sometimes it's not always effective. But getting to hear the story more, my question is, you keep talking about how much you love your girlfriend. You keep saying you love this girl, you love this girl. You said it more than once. The question is that, how do you love somebody and cheat on the person? That is one. Number 2, how do you love someone and cheat on the person with somebody that your girlfriend knows? 3, not only does your girlfriend know her, but they share the same room. Okay, and you go and visit your girlfriend. It means that the intention was to go to your girlfriend. And because your girlfriend wasn't around, are you that weak? Are you that helpless? You see, and sometimes I don't know why men think that they can do certain things and then get away with it because they feel like, oh, they are men, they are not carrying the baby, they are not doing this, they are not doing that. So they can just go around, satisfy their pleasures, and maybe the girl will come expecting something, then they will start giving the girl attitude. Maybe the girl is also afraid of the relationship between her and her friend. So she goes and probably does an abortion, and then the man is going free, living their life like nothing happened. It's not the best of scenarios. And the question is that why did you even allow yourself in that position? Now, that being said, I don't believe in forcing people to get married, especially in this day and age. If I were the woman, unfortunately, the one who sent this in, but if I were the woman, I would not have gotten married to this guy. I probably would have a child because not everybody believes in abortion. And you can't force anybody, like, you can't force people to abort or to get rid of the baby. So the lady wants to keep the baby, it's her choice, it's her decision. But a man who doesn't want you, when you force the marriage, it can happen, but you'll be miserable throughout the marriage. Because the marriages that the men want you or the woman, like both of you want each other, sometimes a lot of things happen. But for the man, it serves you right. Because one thing I know for sure is that the girlfriend, you don't deserve that girl. And this kind of situation is going to make you lose that girl. And even though the girl will be pained, she'll probably end up being with somebody who deserves her as she is. Because for you to have an affair with your girlfriend's very close friend, they share the same room together, I think it's below the belt. You don't love the girl.
Right.
Yes, you don't love the girl. And in this case, you are very cheap. I don't want to judge you, but in this case, you are acting like a cheap man who just, sprinkles wherever they go. So the question is that this is your girlfriend's friend. How many other women have you been involved with? Then the ones that your girlfriend doesn't know, dear, fala. That's my thought.
Right.
Please go on, Olivia, and come to me.
All right. Olivia.
You see, have you sat down to ask yourself this question? If it were your daughter that somebody had done that to, and you didn't want disgrace and shame to come to you and to come to your daughter, what would you do? That's the exact situation in which this girl's family find themselves. They're thinking, oh my days, you've come to take advantage of their daughter. I don't know what kind of family she's coming from, and the family is like, okay, what do we need to salvage the situation? What do we need to do? You've gotten pregnant. We need to quickly get you married so that, you will take away disgrace and shame from us because, it goes against our family values and all of that. So her family is desperately trying to make sure that, things go well on their end. And considering all things, your family too also don't want to be seen as an irresponsible family. And that's the reason why they've both left you and now the families are having a discussion. So unfortunately now the power doesn't lie in your hands anymore. It lies in the hands of family. So this is a clear case of, like I always say, empanel the bed, the way in which, however it is that you decide to lay your bed, honey bunny, you need to lie in it, enjoy. Get, your friend is saying, quilts, cloth, cover up and get, extra comfy because this is not going anywhere, especially because the families are involved. It's so sad and it's very unfortunate because you see, you need to grow up and you need to be responsible and you need to stop all this irresponsible lifestyle that you have. You were in a stable relationship. Everything was going okay. You can't justify to me any day, any time as to how one thing just led to the other. Like when your penis was coming out, you didn't know it was coming out. Like, so at which point in time were you actually going to be responsible? And for crying out loud, I mean, I hate this whole thing about, you could have used a condom, but no, you decided not to use a condom, and now you turn around and now this, like they say, something has hit the roof, and now you have to deal with it. So now that it's become a family issue, unfortunately, it's out of your hands. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. Marry her if you have to, and then live with it, because it's not like this girl that you want to run back to anyway will actually want you, because she's also going to be extremely brokenhearted. If not, the other thing to do will be to let your family know that, this marriage is definitely going to end up in divorce. It's going to cost you a lot more money to actually divorce this other woman. So they shouldn't let it happen. Thankfully, you've decided that, you'd rather take care of the child. But unfortunately, you know what? You are not a good person. And I wish that you sit back, reflect, and look at yourself and look at your lifestyle and look at all the people that you're hurting in this process. You are hurting this girl. I mean, this girl too, unfortunately. No, but this other girl deserves it because you knew that this guy was in a stable relationship. So, I mean, if you look at it, you both deserve each other. So if you know you don't love her, why are you busy shagging her? So for me, what kills me or what really upsets me the most in this entire caboodle is the fact that there is an innocent child in all of this. So if I were you, I will put my pants up and not stop being promiscuous and worry about this child. What kind of future do you want for this child? Would this child be happy knowing that his father is somewhere and his mother is somewhere, how he was born and all of this? For me, if I were you, my focus would be on this child and trying to figure out how to ensure that this child find some love from somewhere for this woman. This is just me. This is if the family does not agree and they're going to force you to marry, and both families are like, they also don't believe in marriage. The bed is yours, lay in it. Right. That's all I can say.
Well, I think patriarchy has made it easy for men to not take accountability for their actions or responsibility for their actions, for that matter. And it's quite unfortunate that he thinks he can eat his cake and have it, where he would go to his girlfriend's room, sleep with his girlfriend's friend like she's some commodity you can just have and throw away as and when you want. It is very improper. He lacks moral compass. He lacks dignity for himself, and he lacks boundaries. And as a man like that, I think he has no business dating any girl at all. He has to go back to the classroom, go back to his mother's house, get trained properly, and get raised well to become a wholesome man. As it is now, he's just a selfish, individualistic person that shouldn't be seen around anybody's daughter. Now, that being said, if the marriage is going to serve as an honorable thing to that girl, and as a punishment to you, I'm all for it any day. Yeah. I think a lot of men should be made to go through that. Yeah. Families should enforce that their children do right by the girls they go and sleep with, so that men will start to learn to know that when they are picking the girls they sleep with, it could come with consequences as such, which they would have to deal with. Because if you are made to stick in the same house with a woman you don't love, because love is one thing you can't force. And in this case now, you forced your family to choose someone for you to love. I hope that his family goes along with it to the point where he actually marries this girl and honors her properly. Because nobody's daughter is supposed to come to this earth and make babies for you to raise when you've not married them properly. So I am all for that marriage. He should go through it. Even if you marry this girl for 2 years, you've still honored her. And I'm all for it. So his family should insist for him to marry the girl. If he's going to divorce her in 3 years, that's 3 years of being married, wearing a ring, and showing the whole world that you also married. Full stop.
Yeah. I like that.
I agree with her. I agree with her 110%. And I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of young men feel that they can just have their way any time, because nobody holds them accountable. And families are always covering up for their sons and making it look like the fault is ours as women. They expect the woman to be more responsible. Why did you get yourself pregnant? As though she decided to sit down and get herself pregnant. Meanwhile, it takes two to tango. So this is a nice way of, putting a bit of a reality check on you. And like Citra rightfully said, you really need to check yourself. You really, really need to check yourself, because then what it is that you're just going out there and having a lot of unprotected sex, and you're not being responsible with it.
So like he knows what he's doing. He has calculated, it all laid out.
And he's always had his way, and I think that he's always been a bit of a spoiled child, and I think that he also did not expect his family to go to the extent of, okay, now this is a great opportunity, get married. You never know, maybe he's been a player, maybe he's old, maybe my guy.
So do you think he can actually grow to love her?
Nobody cares whether he can grow to love her or not. When he was having sex with her, he should have known that she was not going to give birth to a television set. She was going to give birth to a human being. And this girl also, that's why I think that they deserve each other. Because this girl also knows the friend and wants you. And she also is a girl with a motive.
They're actually two
so you're perfect for each other. Because for you to actually look at your friend who is in a stable relationship and sleep with them, and for me that is like, you look in your friend's eyes, even though like they're your friend, and you're able to still sleep with their partner. My God, like, you guys are, I honestly think that you guys are perfect for each other. Work it out.
Yes,
it's okay.
Work it out.
I think it's very straightforward because nobody supports him in this, and I hope he's watching though. At the end of the day, I mean, you were having sex, unprotected sex, anything could happen. And my biggest qualms is the fact that he even gave her post pills.
Yeah, who does that?
Yeah.
He's very intentional.
Very, very intentional.
How would the child feel?
That means you didn't even
want the baby.
Yes, and also if you wanted to sleep with her, you wanted to do a quickie, sharp one.
He wanted it raw.
Like you have
he didn't even want to use protection.
No,
you just wanted
to
enjoy.
That's what I'm saying.
No protection.
There was
like
no
raw
protection.
You could have
picked up STIs, STIs, STDs, and then
it's incurable. I hear.
That's an ashawo penis. Ew, even the
another.
Let me just comment the parents. The parents have actually taken me like to let's say grandmother's generation.
Yeah.
And I've said this on the show several times. that there was a time when even if you touch a woman, you have to marry the woman.
Yeah.
Then we progress to the point where when you get the woman pregnant, you have to marry the woman. And that's where women were fashionably getting pregnant to lock them in. Then it got to a stage where we felt we were so independent, we could look for our own men, we could look for our own women, and all these values started getting dilute. So I'd like to commend the two families. It looks like these are people who are very, very family oriented. And like the story said, his father is heartbroken, but he had to do the right thing. So I commend especially the man's family, because usually the woman's family is happy that their daughter is getting married, but it takes a lot of, let me borrow Sicho's word, balls for, you know, how do you call it? It takes a lot of balls for the man's family to insist that the man married the woman just because he got her pregnant. So that's what I wanted to chip in about the parents. And I wish that, you know, some of these values that we've thrown away in the name of civilization and all of that, I wish that we could go back to those values. If we go back to those values, men, even if you don't like the woman, you know that you have a responsibility towards your wife and towards your home. That's why our fathers, our grandfathers, they may not like the woman. The women too may not be happy in the relationship, but they all know
They did what they needed to do.
They did what they needed to do to make sure the marriage is successful, their home is taken care of, the children are also taken care of. But now it's like we've all gotten very selfish. And it's that selfish attitude that drove him to do what he did. That drove him to think that he can sleep with a lady unprotected, and no matter the consequences,
not being in love with the person.
a pill that is under 10 Ghana cedis or 20 Ghana cedis can solve the issue for him, and case closed, and been there, done that.
And I feel like
written a
he's
book
been doing it.
He's been doing it. That is why I said that, look, if you did this to your girlfriend that you claim you love, her roommate, then the question is that how many other women have you slept with? And you drew my attention to something. The girl, you see, normally when a man and a woman are in a relationship, right? My girlfriend knows how I feel about the man, sometimes even more than the man. So if you are my girlfriend, we share the same room together on campus. You know, even if you're not friends, once you meet and you're on the same campus, you're in the same room, you form a certain bond. So you, this girl, you should know exactly how I feel about my boyfriend. And you were able to also open up for him to come and plug. Then it means that she would have an unhappy marriage, because the man is a constant reminder of what
she did.
He wants his choice.
Yeah, he wanted his choice. So which is that even if his family forces him to be okay, he can even pay the bills, do everything, but the long and short is that you'll never be happy in your marriage.
Here's the thing.
And then you two, and you to the man to you two, if you knew what you wanted, you should have also performed, done right, so that you get what you wanted. So both of them at the end of the day, they would have to either learn their lesson or come to the table and decide that, look, listen, we all goofed. So now, let's force ourselves to fall in love and see whether we can progress.
You know, well, on that note, like you all said, we celebrate that those families for doing what
Kudos
they
to
did.
the father,
the
boy's father.
They definitely did the right thing, and I think that's also why we celebrate the family on May or in May here in City. So it's the family month. We celebrate all families. A very big thank you to each and every one of you that watch us. We really appreciate it, and we hope that God blesses your family and even the ones that listen to us. Anyway, sisters, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing episode.
Yes, it has been.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
for the first
And
time.
you look amazing as always.
Thank
I didn't
you.
say that.
And for the first time, we all agree. Anyway, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll be sharing my final thoughts. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Sister, and I'm about to share my final thoughts. So we went through 2 letters that you sent, and the sisters dialogued on it, and it seems like everyone was on the same page today. Anyway, the first letter about the woman that's not satisfied with her husband's attitude towards her, especially for the fact that she had sacrificed her life for him to get to where he is right now, a PhD holder, and, you know, making her not financially stable and not also trying to help her in any way. Thank you for sending in your letter. I think you were actually very courageous to send in your letter, so thank you very much. Now, what I would say is that there are still a lot of women that believe out there that, okay, I need to sacrifice for my husband to get to where he's supposed to be in life before I can start mine. I think we need to stop that. Those days are gone, because nothing really has come out of it. Nothing really good has come out of it. I mean, the percentage is always small of people that succeeded. So anytime you are in that situation where the man has to be the one going to school and then you have to stop, I think you need to rethink it. It's not healthy, because there is a very tiny percent that this person will even remind you and say, oh, babe, it's time for you to go to school. No. As they're going higher, they're going. They're not looking at you again. They're just going. Their tastes are changing and stuff like that. So, and secondly, and I was wondering, what kind of discussion did you have? It's very important to have these discussions before getting married. Very, very, very important. If he says, don't work, okay, I'm going to be going to school and, you know, probably going out there to look for the money, then he should be paying you for being a housewife. People are paid for being housewives. Domestic jobs and taking care of children, it's not easy. People or women should be paid for being housewives. If he was paying you for being a housewife, I think you would have had a lot, like not a lot, but maybe some money to help to contribute to your mother's health. There are different exes. Well, now I understand why he's your ex. I understand perfectly why he's your ex, because I think it's very wrong for someone to ask a married woman to sleep with him. So don't bring up that conversation with your husband, because that's not even going to make him feel well. But yeah, that's it. And I think my final advice to you is look for something to do. You can start small. You don't always need to look for big money to start a business or something, because obviously I don't think you can go to school right now since you can't even afford the 30,000 for your mother's surgery. So start small. Look for something to do. And then the second letter about boy that slept with girlfriend's best friend. I'm sorry, you said we shouldn't judge you, but it's going to be so hard not to judge you. I think you are not properly raised, or even if you were, you are just living your own life and disgracing your family. You understand? But now that you are in that situation where you are forced to marry this girl now, you might not love her, but this is the bed that you've actually laid for yourself. So yeah. Good luck in your marriage. Send us wedding pictures when everything's out. Yeah. Anyway, it's been an interesting episode today, and I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Gino and Cindy Rice. Thank you so much for holding us down. My name is Chris Carter, and this has been Sister. See you next week.